guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with a review and an install of a Cat-Back exhaust from Mishimoto, available for all 2015 and newer EcoBoost Mustangs. We're going to be talking about a few different things with this exhaust today, but mainly we'll talk about the sound of the Cat-Back and the install. The install for this is easy. It's a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter, since Cat-Backs for the S550 simply bolt right up, but I'll get more into that later. You should be checking out the Mishimoto Cat-Back here if you're shopping for a Cat-Back for your S550 EcoBoost that'll work with either the stock downpipe or an aftermarket 3-inch downpipe, and that isn't going to be off-the-wall loud. This Cat-Back features the standard Y-pipe for a mid-pipe and oval mufflers that provide a subtle exhaust tone. Looking at this a little bit further, like usual with a Cat-Back, one of the main players of this Cat-Back is the mufflers. These are oval mufflers that do give a subtle but still aggressive turbo and exhaust note. One of the main upsides to this Cat-Back is that it has no drone. And this system has a 3-inch to a 2.5-inch split, and Mishimoto does that to maintain velocity in the exhaust. So when it comes to sound and overall volume, you guys heard the sound clips. This is an upgrade over the factory exhaust for sure, but honestly speaking, it really isn't all that loud. I would say that this is a calm and refined upgrade. It doesn't have a lot of raw sound. A lot of times people tend to associate a raw sound with the sound of an import. This system doesn't play that aspect up, which means that you get away without sounding too much like an import, even though you can't get completely away from that type of sound. Even on startup, the sound is deeper and has more volume than the factory setup does. You have plenty of tone, no rasp to speak of, and a good amount of overall volume. With all that being said, I'm gonna rate this one as a 2 out of 5 with the factory downpipe installed on my 1 to wake the neighbors scale, 1 being a quiet upgrade and 5 being very loud. It's not the loudest setup, but it does have a nice deep tone with no drone inside the car while cruising. And keep in mind that your downpipe will play a role in the overall sound of the exhaust. This Cat-Back is going to work with both a stock downpipe or an aftermarket 3-inch downpipe. It's going to come with an adapter that you will or will not use depending on your downpipe situation. If you're still using the factory downpipe, you'll need the adapter. If you have a 3-inch downpipe on the other hand, you can just bolt the Mishimoto right up to that. Now that you know what you can expect, let's talk about the build of the Mishimoto Cat-Back. For starters, you're getting a full 304 stainless steel throughout, which is the best material in my opinion when it comes to exhaust, especially when it comes to resisting corrosion. 304 stainless steel will hold up much better over time and is superior to other materials like aluminized steel. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a 3-inch to a 2.5-inch Mandelbrot Cat-Back. It's very nice welds and 4-inch brightly polished stainless steel /cut tips. When it comes to price, this is actually one of the more affordable options when we compare it to others on the site, even though it is a full 304 stainless steel. You can expect to pay between $800 and $900 for this system, and when you look at the other options, a lot of them are coming in close to or over $1,000, while the Mishimoto here is below that and is still delivering on materials and fitment. When it comes to the install, you can expect to spend about 2 hours, and it's going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. Pretty much looking at the normal Cat-Back install. Like most other aftermarket Cat-Backs for the S550, this one does utilize the slip-fit style piping to get everything together, which is going to make for an easier install. So all the install is pretty standard in the world of Cat-Backs. Having a buddy to help with this will certainly make your life easier, but overall you just need basic hand tools, including a socket set. Wrapping things up with the Mishimoto Cat-Back exhaust, this Cat-Back is a full 304 stainless steel 3-inch Cat-Back that does step down to 2.5 inches to maintain velocity, and it'll work with a factory downpipe or a 3-inch downpipe. I suggest you check this thing out more online for yourself, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.